Welcome to TigerComp. This is a look at Excel 2. If you open up your Excel 1 file, you're going to see something that should look very similar to what you're seeing on the screen right now, where you inputted all the data, you have formulas in the average cells and total point cells, and you calculated those things, and basically you have all the information. You added Joe Johnson at the end, and then or was it Jerry Jones? Whichever one you added, and then you sorted them so everything's in alphabetical order, and you ended up with something like this. As we work with Excel 2, the goal is to add some contrast to what you're seeing on the screen. And as you're looking at the tutorial sheet, you can see this is the end product that you need to have finished by the time you're done with Excel 2. Now, this is actually a kind of a review of shading and borders in Word. And so I'm just going to kind of give you a refresher in this video, and you're going to spend most of your time doing the activity yourself as you're working through this activity. All right. Well, basically, I want to show you where do you need to go to accomplish this. All right. And so if I wanted to start to change my table and add some borders and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and go here and select it. And I'm going to go up to Format, and I'm going to go down to Format Cells. I'm going to get a nice menu window coming up. And it might start right here. We're going to go to the Border tab where we can start to add some borders. If you remember in Word, when you're dealing with this window and dealing with borders, it's going to apply to everything that's selected in the entire window. And so since I selected A1 to H10, I'm affecting everything as I'm going about doing this. So the basic steps that I'm going to do is I'm going to select a line that I want and then where I want it to apply. And in this case, I'm going to say inside. And then I'm going to go to the thickest line here, and I'm going to click to outline. And so this idea is going to apply to my entire table. And I'm going to click OK. And you can see there it is. Now you might be wondering, well, I just see this really thick border right here, but I don't see it on the top and on the left. And it is there. Excel doesn't take the time to actually show you that specifically. But if you were to go to File and Print, and you kind of did a print preview, you would see that, yes, that border actually is there. All right. Now, as you think about what you're going to do, if we go back to the tutorial, you can see the picture of what you need to make it look like by the time you're done. We just kind of did the inside lines and we did the outside border like that. But now you got some shading to do, and you have a couple other lines that don't specifically apply just to the entire table. So you got to go back and change those things. Basically what you're going to accomplish is you're going to group things. You're going to group things so that the borders make sense in connection with everything that's going on. I'm going to give you one last hint. All right. Working specifically with this line right here, right? And so if you were to go here and select these different pieces, oops, I got to go to Excel to actually do this stuff. Right? These are all going to have the same border right in here, A4 to A9, and so I can select those. And how would I get this border just on the right side there? All right. You're going to go back up to Format. You're going to go to your Format cells, and you got to remember, okay, here is the preview, realizing I'm just dealing with this group right here, and so I got to think about how I want to change this line right here so it's a thick border. And you can go there, and remember, you can just touch the line like that instead of clicking up here, and so only that section will be affected by what is going on there. And so if I click OK, you should see a picture like that, just like what you're seeing in the tutorial. If I scroll down, you can see that same effect came up right there. All right. That's all I'm going to tell you about borders. Let's move on to the shading. Same idea is going to come into the shading. You can see that we want to shade the section right here up on top. And so to do shading, what you want to do, I'm just going to show one cell and you can kind of figure out how to do the rest. If I go to Format Cells, once again, this time I'm going to go to Fill, and now I can choose the fill that I want. And we're going to go with this one right here. You can see the sample, nice light gray. And once I click OK, it's going to apply to that cell or the cells that I have selected. Now I just did one just to remind you of how to do everything. In the end, your goal is to refresh your memory with everything that you've worked with in terms of borders and shading that you learned last year in Word, but now you're going to work with it in Excel, excuse me, as you finish up this product. All right, so you should have the tutorial in front of you. If not, you can download it off of Office 365, and then you can go ahead and get your table to look like this. Next week, we're going to step into some more advanced things with Excel and really get past the basics and move into some of the really cool features with graphing and stuff like that. All right, that's it for Excel 2. Remember, when you go to save it, make sure you change the name to Excel 2 instead of saving it as Excel 1. That's going to help you out. All right, that's it for this week's lesson.